Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the KimUnity Soulutions podcast, the only podcast that's inspiring leadership and humanity within and beyond the workplace. I am your host, Kim the SME. As always, I am only speaking from my experiences. Today, I want to go underneath the surface. We always hear about the good employee and the bad employee, or the good environment and the toxic environment, the good manager and the worrisome one. But today I want to talk about the managers who are doing their best, who believe that they are doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, but they are still creating a terrible work environment. It happens, and I know that this coming out of my mouth is making some people feel uneasy. It's not because you're not trying. It's not because you woke up and said, today I'm going to make my team miserable. That's not what it is at all. You are going in and you are making the effort. However, it is not being received well. It is not addressing the challenges. It is not addressing or resolving the complaints or the poor performers, or whatever it is that has been brought to your attention. And that's what I want to talk to you all about today. Sometimes it's not even communicated. So everyone as a whole, whether it's leadership or frontline employees, there has to be communication. There is also a point where people give up trying because they've tried and they've been ignored or avoided or disregarded or not taken seriously or left being defensive. Or they simply see how others have been treated and they say, I saw how that worked. I'm not going to try. So we always have to step back and look at, okay, what actions have already taken place? Who is always comfortable coming to me and who is not? Why is that? What was our last conversation about? Did I address their concerns? Did I even come back to them? Did I come back with a response, an answer? We have to go back to the foundation. No, it's not always intentional, but it's present. It's current. It's unresolved. And so no matter how many pizza parties you have, no matter how many team outings you have, it is still unresolved. And what I disliked, I will say that, what I disliked when I was in corporate was for there to be a team challenge that was unresolved, and leadership would come with a bright idea of a team outing. But it's not addressing the problem. Now we are all going somewhere and taking this energy with us. We can't keep kicking the ball down the road. It has to get resolved before you go any further. That's what creates the low performers. That's what creates the low morale, the disconnect, the disengagement, the absenteeism. At some point, leadership has to really try to connect with their teams to find out exactly what the problem is, because we all want to win. We all want to come to a place in a space that is inviting, that is comfortable, that is promotes productivity. No one wants to come in and be miserable for 8-10 hours in a day. So I'm just asking everyone to take a look at your actions, not just leadership, but frontline employees as well. When was the last time you tried communicating your challenges? What was done? Did you communicate clearly? How did they respond? You see, managers And leaders are always going to conferences and leadership development classes, and they're being told, hey, when you are communicating, don't just accept, yes, I understand, or a head nod. Have them repeat back what the agreement was or what the steps were. Frontline doesn't always get that introduction, get those instructions. So I'm telling you, you have to take ownership as well. When you are communicating, are you asking? Do you understand what I'm saying? Would you mind repeating back in your own words what I am saying and not being afraid of that? Because if you're already having a conversation, why not get understanding as well? And we have to think about it. I already said that managers don't know it all. They don't come in with ill intent. That's not what's on their heart. They are trying to make improvements. They are trying to find ways to get their team to be productive and move out of silos and work as a team. But what everyone else has to realize is that not everyone got those positions based on their communication skills, based on their team building skills. They may have been promoted to manager and leadership based on their productivity, based on their numbers, based on their skill set. That has nothing to do with leading a team. That has nothing to do with communication. And that's where the disconnect lies. Everyone has these high expectations of the next person and no grace to go along with it. And the first thing that has to happen is everyone has to be honest with each other. It's okay for leadership to say, I really don't know. Let me go find out. Well, what do you think? And that is empowering. That empowers your team, not just you coming in thinking that you know everything and then giving people the wrong instructions and they have to recreate it. Or giving them direction that doesn't have the details necessary in order to meet those expectations, only because you don't know. It goes both ways. And we have to understand that. Even though it's not ill intentions, it is happening and is unproductive. And until those lines of communication are open, it will remain unresolved. No one will be staying. Retention will be low. Results will be low. Your bottom line will be impacted. Each level has desired outcomes. Executives want results and teams want support. The biggest mistake that happens, and I hear it all the time, is that managers believe that their teams are doing just fine. They haven't heard anything. No one has brought anything to their attention. They think their teams are fine. I speak to them all the time. Oh, I don't have those problems on my team. Silence does not mean excellence. When was the last time you checked in? Do their actions meet their words? Do you have a lot of absenteeism? Is there a lot of call-offs? Do you have to beg people in your team to stay overtime? Have they stopped communicating? Have they stopped bringing in those innovative ideas? These are all telltale signs of someone's not happy. And I don't even like the word happy because that's based off of what's happening. But they're not. They're not okay. They are not comfortable coming and addressing any concerns. They are no longer comfortable bringing you ideas, bringing you different ways of process improving. This is how you're able to tell. Silence is not excellence. We should never automatically assume that our teams are just fine. When is the last time you've spoken to them individually? Frontline employees, when is the last time you've had a conversation individually and have been honest? These are all questions that have to be answered in order to get to the root of the problem. I don't want it to be misunderstood. Your teams, your frontline employees, they are not expecting perfection. They understand the challenges, but what they do require is clarity. They want honesty. They want fairness. They want a listening ear. They want support. They want you to have their back. They want you to correct them when they're wrong, but respectfully. And these things really are not difficult to do. They're actually normal. As you're listening, what has caught your interest? Because maybe that's the area in which you really need to sit down and get clarity with. Go back and ask your teams. Go back and ask your manager. Let me tell you, when you have a solid top performer, you don't want to let them go. We do all this work on the front end to find these great candidates, to look at their resume and to see all of their skill sets, all that they've done with other companies, their knowledge, their schooling. And then they come into our departments, into our organizations. And it's almost like they wither away because we've dropped the ball somewhere. Have you dropped the ball? Think about your team. From the time they started till now, what has changed? Now, if you're seeing improvements, then if you're seeing growth, if you're seeing excitement and innovation, you're on the right track. But if you are seeing a decline, conversations need to be had. Something has changed. This is not about pointing the finger. This is about opening our eyes. This is about opening our ears. This is about listening to each other. This is about solving problems. This is how we do it. It's not always pretty, but it's necessary. Yes, your hands get a little dirty in the beginning, but then you will start to see the fruit of your labor. I'm telling you because I know. We all want the same thing. But what are you willing to do to get there? Are you going to admit your faults? Are you going to admit your limitations? Are you going to admit where you need help at? Where you may need training? Are you going to raise your hand and ask your question? Are you going to be open to real input? That's where it lies. You see, miscommunication is expensive. It costs you. It costs you time. It costs you productivity. It costs you relationships. And I'm talking in the workplace or outside of it. I'm sure you can think of some conversations that you've had that's cost you. This is why I am the communication accountant, because I'm able to identify those hidden costs. I'm able to help you reduce those hidden costs. And sometimes you don't always have the tools, you don't always have the words. There's been too much experience and turmoil to be able to resolve it on your own. So sometimes you need to call someone in to assist. I've been there. I understand. I see it. We hear about it. But the question is, what are you going to do about it? It's not ill intent. It's inaction. It's time to get on the same page. I want to see everyone successful. You see, when we hear stuff on Forbes and written business journals, it's about the company's revenue. It's about their bottom line. But what is your bottom line? What are you getting out of it? How are you growing? How are you becoming more profitable? What are you gaining? What are you learning? What are you experiencing? What is it that you're receiving that's going to take you to the next level? It's not just about the organization, it's the people in there as well. What good is it if the organization is excelling, but the people within it are miserable? What good is that? I just wanted to leave you with that. You have time to change. You have time to improve. You have time to conquer. You have time to create that impact and to exceed all of the goals that have been set forth. Are you going to take action? Are you going to communicate? I am your host, Kim the SME, your communication accountant. You have been listening to the KimUnity Soulutions podcast. I hope you take this with you this week and apply one thing. Have that conversation. Get insight. Let me ask you a question. Remember that time? Or I have a question. You never did get back to me. I was wondering, how would you like me to approach you? When is the best time to reach you? Once we start communicating and getting understanding, we can conquer it all. You all be blessed. Until next time, bye-bye.